Hi, motorsport fans. Everyone knows about two-wheeling racing. Everybody knows about four-wheeling racing. But what about three-wheeling racing? Yeah, three wheels matter.
Hey! Three-wheeling around the world. Here we are at the grandstand. We're all ready to go.
The entertainment and the love you get from this sport.
Hello, three-wheelers, live with three-wheeling. We have an ambassador program.
They are so focused on this sidecar racing, and I'm in awe of them.
Are we about to witness TT history being made again?
If you're really keen and you want to get involved in the promotion of our great sport, then become an ambassador. Take photos and post them on our fan page. We have such a great sport, and it's all the personalities and all the friendships that we have and all the families that are involved.
Okay, folks. Well, here we are again. Three Wheels Matter. This is our third edition of Three Wheels Matter, and we got the Christmas special today, folks. This is going to be a lot of fun. So, without any further ado, let me introduce our two guests today. We have two of our really top local guys in the sport. And to my right here, we have Carl Bennett.
Yeah.
And Carl's a driver.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah. We were talking about you guys are going to spend the next hour and a half talking about all your great conquests in the sport. But it reminded me, this guy really is good. Fourth place.
Yeah.
And what year was that again?
16 at the TT.
Yeah, great. So there you are. So that's quite an accomplishment. And then to my right here, everybody's interested in the passengers, right? We have Ben Binns, and his name, of course, it has to be Binsy.
Yeah.
That's his code name, right? And Binsy, one of our top passengers, and a former lap record holder.
Yeah.
It's 2015, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also was in our movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Three Wheelers. We that's going to be good because we got some clips we're going to show on that shortly. All right. So let's get into it then. So you guys tell me how you got involved with the sport, and you guys have great friendship here, and maybe you could tell us a bit about how you got to know each other and.
We got to know each other. I think I started racing in 2001, so I was a bit long in the tooth by the time Ben got there.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah.
And it was just up Derby really. I started racing with my uncle, who used to passenger years ago around the same time. Carl's dad was racing, so they knew each other already. And Tommy was up there with Carl, and me and my uncle went up and they got chatting, and I was talking to Carl's wife, who I went to school with and I've known since we were about 12, and then that's how we got introduced really, and just sort of cut from the same cloth, had the same sort of upbringing, and you just got on with the same interests really. Apart from he always wanted a passenger, but he can't.
No, not very good at it.
Yeah. What is it that you didn't want? You've always been keen on being a driver, right?
Yeah, no, I always wanted to be a passenger. But back when I was young, I think I was about 16. You just couldn't get a ride. There was so many passengers about. So when I was old enough, I was 17 when I bought my first sidecar, and I just went driving from then. It was easier for me to ride than it was to be a passenger. I had to go riding a solo, but it just wasn't good enough.
Spend more time on his back.
What? Yeah.
I'd only done like 2 or 3 meetings on a solo. But even when I first started racing a sidecar, I was terrible at that as well. It took me. I think it took me It took me a year at least before I overtook a bike. Yeah. Definitely, I was bad.
Whoa. Yeah. And so, what do you think about? Here's something here. So these questions just pop into my mind in a general way, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about racing your mates? Because we all know each other, right, in the sport.
It's
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
is it different racing against good friends or against strangers?
No.
As soon as you put your helmet on, you don't really care who it is. You just want to beat them. It's better for the photos to say when you see yourself in front of your mates.
Yeah.
But definitely, it's more when you it's just another bike to get past.
You want to beat each other at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Friends off the track, but as soon as you're on the track, you're
same as everyone
another
else.
man to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's nice when you have if you have a good battle, and I've had battles with Molly and Ben, and when he was on with Dwight, we were kind of in and out of each other all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a great spectacle when you get off because you have a bit of laugh about it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a good clean race. If you have a good clean, I think you
that?
sort of I think you sort of have a touch more. No, possibly not have a touch more respect for each other because it is your mate. You will
be a bit
stuff it into
cheekier.
them a
Yeah,
bit.
you get a bit cheekier, don't you?
You think, oh, you.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to come through there.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's but you get off and shake hands.
Shake
good
hands,
race
yeah,
and
yeah.
good crack, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. I think everybody's got some contact with the other guys.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because locally, it's not that big of a sport.
No.
You know. But having said that, and I was talking to you guys about it, our sport is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem that way because we're all in little pockets geographically in
Yeah.
different countries. We're out from Japan, Australia, New Zealand, the States, as various countries in Europe, in the UK, Ireland, all of this. And in different classes too.
Yeah.
So all you guys out there that are new to the sport, make sure you stick on to three-wheeling.
That's it.
Because you're going to really
It's all
see,
joined up.
there's all kinds of racing on three wheels.
Yeah.
We're sort of here at the headquarters of the road race, right?
Yeah.
The one everybody knows, the biggie.
Yeah.
Right? Our headquarters here in the Isle of Man, where the guys with, that really have it come here to the big showdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how I see the TT. It's kind of within our sport. It's like the big showdown.
It's the pinnacle, isn't it?
Everybody
It's
meets
tough,
up
yeah.
once a year
Yeah.
and see who's the best and the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Here at the 37 and 3/4 circuit
Yeah.
that we have here. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have to look at this guy over here to the left. I'm going to get him involved. I have to introduce him. But this is Dave Klukas. Dave is the official timekeeper of the TT. Hey,
One of
you
them.
got anything? You got any?
One of them.
One of them. Okay. Well, you're number one.
No, I'm not. No.
No, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. What? You're most vocal, I have to say.
Yeah. That's right.
The most
Yeah,
opinionated.
Even the clerk of the course has said that to me.
Yeah. So, but you're going to sit there. This is our kind of our format for tonight. So Dave is going to sit there, and every so often he's going to fire away a question. Isn't that what you're going to do?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Yeah.
pick on them like mad.
Just randomly.
just
That's what Dave's good at, yeah.
Random questions.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, getting back on there. Let's talk maybe a little bit about where you guys currently stand in the sport, and then maybe we can do is then to go back again a little bit.
Yeah.
And we can do is to put some of the videos we have and some of the pictures that we have. So where do you guys currently stand now, Carl? You actually have your own team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is the name of the team?
We run under Bennett Racing.
Bennett Racing.
Yeah. At the minute, I sold my bike back in March to a lad over in Ireland and started building a new bike ready for this 2021 TT that was going to happen, but obviously isn't now. So I'm still heading in to get that ready for sort of start next year, ready for 2021, either Derby or if I can get to the UK, if they open the borders, I'll go away as much as I can really to get the testing in ready for the 2022 TT.
Yeah.
And obviously, if the Southern goes ahead, that will be the main event for next year.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is to our viewers. The TT's been called off again because of the COVID problem that we have. And by the way, we're all sitting around here.
Yeah.
We're effectively COVID free.
COVID free,
So
yeah.
don't
Yeah, not in
Don't
the-
report us to the authorities because it's okay.
Yeah.
We can bring in 7 or 8 or 9 people in here if we want. We're all right. We don't. But that's a good thing about being a little island here.
Yeah,
You just pull the drawbridge up.
Yeah.
And you don't let anybody
Don't let
in.
them in.
So
No one comes, no one goes.
then you isolate and fix the few that did have it. So that's where we are. But we've been pretty, just so-called COVID free for quite a while now.
Yeah.
So we're all enjoying each other and that sort of thing. We're all having our kicks, right? We can all go out to the pub.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So this is it. So yeah. So that's good. So you have you're getting back, Carl. So you're looking forward to 2000. For
2021, yeah. I mean, I've got a big. Well, I've had a couple of years out due to certain reasons. But 2020, I was supposed to come back for a full season. Obviously, it's now pretty much called off. So 2021, I'll be a new bike, same team, same rider. I've got Joe Swan's going to do the short circuits with me, and a Frenchman, Max Vasseur, he does the bigger events with me. Yeah. And that's where we're going. Bigger and better, and we've still got the bug. We're still keen on going. And
so here's a little pitch here now. It's not just about Carl, but it's about our sport in general.
Yeah.
On your sponsorships now, you're gonna get by. It all has to do with money again.
It's the hardest bit is getting the money in, and so far it's obviously we're building a new bike. It's all money out because I've got nothing to. I haven't got a race meeting to promote against. So I've got good sponsors that have stuck by me for pretty much most of my racing career, and they all have been good, and that's what we're pushing for 2021.
Good, that's good. That's good. And what about yourself now? Your current situation with racing?
I'm back. Well, I've retired from the roads due to I wanted to get back, but after you've seen in the film, I had the accident and the knee. I don't think the knee would do it anymore, and I don't want to risk it. Stroke, let anybody down. If I committed to it, I wouldn't want to pull out halfway through. So, but I'm with Dave Molyneux now, just on the short circuits, because he's got Mark Wilkes lined up to do the roads, and obviously he lives in the UK, and he needs somebody to help set up the bike over here. But I was with Carl for 17 and 18 TT, which was good. Yeah, I think we got 5th, 9th. I wasn't riding, by the way. He had Max on. I was just in Chief Brolly Dolly, really.
Oh yeah.
And helmet polish.
Yeah, and we got I think two top 10s, and we got 5th and 9th and 8th or something like that. I can't remember, but not to be sniffed at all. And then 19 helped Jacko out. He was on in the last one. Unfortunately, he had a bit of a to do, and I was going to wait for him to come back because I was riding short circuits with him. And then Molly phoned up one day and said, "Would you want to do the short circuits with me?" And I said, "Well, you don't say no, do you?"
Yeah.
He said, "I've got Mark Wilkes lined up, cracking passenger world champion, and the right man for the job, in my opinion." He's one of the very best out there. So yeah, well, my current situation is just short circuit, and I'll probably spanner for Molly at the TT and Mark when and if it goes ahead.
Yeah.
So you're getting dropped?
I've been dropped, officially.
Well, no, like Carl just said back, he took like you say, he took a year out for personal reasons, so I went to help Jacko, and I was going to go back with Carl, but better things came knocking on the door. I'm only joking. It's a bit of a selfish sport that way. Passengers can be as ruthless as drivers, if we're being honest. If not
More ruthless.
so,
more
yeah.
ruthless.
Yeah.
But you know what? The people that are new to the sport, the first thing, crazy seems to go with the passengers. I don't understand that description. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. The drivers are okay. But but what is it about what is it? Oh, first of all, here's a question that I have to ask you for people that don't. Yeah. You say that you're fine with the short circuit for
Yeah.
the time being in that because of the injury
Yeah.
that we have with your knee. But how is it that the road circuit is different? The TT. Explain that. It's a lot harder on you physically.
Yeah, well, I mean, a short, sharp blast of like 15, 20 minutes around a short circuit, I'm okay with, but or like a double race on a Saturday, Sunday. But even now, for like 3 to 4 days after a meeting, my knee sore, my groin, my back. It doesn't just affect my knee, because they said the hospital did say when it happened that it will affect my back later on in life and my groin and everything. Because I don't actually, when I walk now, it looks like I put my heel down, but I don't. My foot's sort of like that, so I walk a bit funny. But you bend down for an hour at the TT, and if it was one lap, I'd happily do it. I'd go, but I wouldn't last a fortnight. I wouldn't last a week of practice, and then 2-3 lap races. I just know it. Well, I don't know I wouldn't, but I don't want to commit to somebody, because obviously you get, like Carl was saying, nowadays there's no passengers around, and yeah,
You can't just pick one up at TT because
no,
you can't put.
And if I got say on with somebody and then middle of the week I just said I can't do it, then the drivers, there's tens of thousands of pounds and other people's lives on the line, basically. If I messed up because of that, it could end up writing 2 people off, or 4 if there's another bike anywhere near. So you've got to, unfortunately in life, it'd be a great thing to do again, because it's sort of a bit of unfinished business with it, but you've got to be a realist at times, and short circuits, like I say, is a short, sharp blast. You get off and you're okay, but that's it. It's an endurance of a fortnight, really. And if the leg went midweek, the driver, whoever it may be, would be.
There's no room for error. See, that's the difference is between the short circuit too. If something did happen, of course you can have a bad accident as well. In the short circuit too.
Run off.
But yeah, you may be. Chances are you probably be okay.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that on the TT.
No.
In most cases you're going to be okay. Most cases you're not going to be okay.
Yeah, you're lucky to get away with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I always said at the start of my TT racing career, if I had a big accident on the roads and managed to get away with it, that I'd call it a day. I wasn't going to, because I wanted to get back, but like I say, you've got to bring the realistic side into it, haven't you? Rather than, there's no point in saying, oh yeah, I can do that 1,010%, and then you just make a fool of yourself, really.
Yeah. Well, I see, but you see what it is though. It's in your blood though.
Oh,
the sport's in your blood. So yes, you'll carry on with the short circuit.
Yeah.
And but you'll carry on here too, like you say. You're gonna help.
I'd like help anybody out.
Molly, or you gotta. I see you were helping Carl.
Yeah.
We got pictures of that, and
and it's all good. Like
yes.
I like with Carl and Dave, and it's all family based, and well, everyone is really. There's no full factory teams in Sidecars, really, so to speak.
There's a lot to be said for the lads in the background. Even just taking your mind off. If everything's going well, it's great. If something's going, if you're having a hard time practicing, your mates are there around giving you a hand, and even a little bit, topping the fuel up. You don't have to think about that. Your mates being there makes it a lot easier, and it's more enjoyable.
If there's big jobs to do, we can get on with it, and he can go home to bed, ready for tomorrow, and then he'll come in the morning, check the bike over, then we'll check it over.
That's what it is though too.
Yeah.
When you're actually a driver or you're a passenger in the sport on the line, particularly at the TT, you don't want your mind distracted. I wouldn't say.
That's it. You got to be on it.
This is what it is. You want everything set up and everything ready to go.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to worry or concentrate on the issues of the bike, for example.
Yeah.
Because you want to concentrate and zone in.
Yeah.
On the task at hand.
Yeah. And that's what practice is all about as well. Because nothing worse. You'll know. I mean, I had it with Dave Hurst when I was riding with him in 2014. There's nothing worse than setting off thinking, what's going to go wrong tonight?
Yeah.
Because you haven't got it going right, and you can't, for some reason, there's always niggles. And you don't want that in the back of your head. 110% focus is is what you want.
Well, it's you know.
You
it's
can't
serious
half-ass
business.
it.
No.
It's a serious
It is,
serious
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Did you have any accidents yourself, Carl? Or
I had a
close
crash
calls?
in 2009 with Cape Michael. That pretty much totaled my bike really.
Set it on
Crashed,
fire.
Went on fire. It was quite a big. I was lucky. Me and Lee were both lucky to come away. We weren't hurt, and we managed to start both races. Broke down the first race, and obviously the second race of 2009 was Nick Crow's crash. So you know, but I just instantly, because I was okay, I went back. I spent 3 days rebuilding the bike, and we were straight back out again. I never changed my mind. I was always going to go back out. I've had a couple of close, like,
Oh
close,
yeah,
close, yeah.
Yeah.
A big one, a close one at Rencullen in 16. That was close. I had one with Max in 17 at Ballacrane. You know, these little things. But as soon as like you come around Ballacrane, by the time you go around Ballspur,
It's out your head.
it's out your head. It's gone.
Yeah.
You know, because the bike's straight and you ride on again.
Ren Cullen's a bit of a though, because a few people have had it there, haven't they?
Yeah,
It's difficult to get right as a
It
as
is,
a
yeah.
passenger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
As soon as you come around Douglas Road corner, you get into top as quick as you can, and you're in top then to Bluff Bridge.
Mhm.
You know, and it's you're going that fast, and things are, even though it kind of slows down, you're shifting from one side of the road to the next side of the road to the next side of the road, and use as much of it as you can.
Yeah. Well, I bet you you have all kinds of. If you just sit there and close your eyes, I bet you could see yourself at the start line and running through every turn, and every straightaway and every corner.
Yeah.
Couldn't you?
Yeah.
You know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
You probably could. It'd probably be right close.
Yeah.
Even the timing of it.
Yeah.
How long it takes down to get down to the bottom of Bray Hill to start off.
Yeah.
what
It's,
gear you should be
then
in.
that turn.
what gear you should be, what side of the road you need to be on. Miss
Yeah.
that grid. Make sure you miss that grid.
Yeah.
You know, it's all. There's a lot of it to
Yeah.
it. You know.
I don't have to worry about grids. That's not my
The
department.
grid, like
Yeah.
the little manhole covers. When you go over,
Yeah.
some of them you go
Yeah.
over, they knock the wind out. Yeah.
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 But yeah, you do.
So they just usually put the passenger over them.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Ben, though, it's fun though.
Oh yeah,
Being
that's
the
it.
passenger, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Drivers
Yeah.
just drive, passengers have fun.
That's what you say.
Oh, yeah.
We had that. You know, we have some clips of Ben. We're going to show you in a little while.
Yeah.
You know, having to do with the three-wheeling the movie. But okay, so
Is there any difference in the length of time that you reckon that it takes to learn the TT from a driver to a passenger?
Well, it's bizarre really, because I've done more laps in a car than I actually have on a bike. And before I did my first TT, I did loads of laps in a car, loads of laps with passengers, did laps with Carl. And then you get on the bike and you think, well, me, this is different to the car. It's like relearning again. You basically may as well not have bothered with the car.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I find the main thing, the more homework you do, the better.
Yeah.
You can drive around all day long, but you're not learning if you drive around all day. You need to you have to break it down, and it's like you need to know what's coming next, rather than
where you are.
Where you are.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you can be able to take a glance up and go,
Okay.
I know
Oh,
where
yeah.
we are. You know, each bit of grass looks exactly the same as the next bit of grass, but you need to have a look at it, and you should be able to know the road and go, I know what's coming next.
It's an interesting question.
And that's when
actually.
for a driver anyway, you should be able to, because I do the newcomer drivers, so you should be able to watching on board, close your eyes for say 10 seconds, open up and go, I'm there.
yeah.
And that's when you
That's what I was saying.
to
Kind of
get
like
it.
if you close the same thing.
Yeah.
You know the timing with the turn.
Yeah.
How long it's going
Yeah.
to take you now? You're
Yeah.
going by. You know exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do in onboards.
Precision.
You know,
Yeah.
because, but like you're saying there with the driver and the passenger, I don't know, passenger, you've sort of got to learn with your eyes shut, with your head
Yeah.
down. You got to know where you are without looking. If you
So
can
you're
peek
by
up
feel.
occasionally, but
Yeah.
it's
So you can feel it. You can feel.
yeah,
which
you
ones
need
you're
to
going
sort of
through.
know where. Dan Sale gave me a good tip when if you're tucked in, look out the side rather than putting your head up, and you see something go past. If you're in the car and you look for markers,
Yeah.
and then you have a quick look out the side, then you know where you are. But learning, I'd say it'd take the same amount of time to learn, but it's a different discipline,
Yeah, it is, yeah.
if you know what I mean. And yeah,
The time wise, I think it's hard, but you do see a lot of passengers that can come in first time, you know, like Mark Wilkes.
Oh,
115
unbelievable.
his first year. That's
That's
not
impressive.
It's not many people do that. Like Callum was obviously 113.
Yeah.
Callum Crowe.
Yeah.
But then again, you got Ryan. Ryan done 113. Jacko done 109.
Yeah.
But obviously we're local, so it's a little bit. We have got a bit of an advantage. It's
So you
hard.
don't- So you don't know the circuit, but you know where the circuit
You know
goes.
exactly where we're going. 'cause we
Mike can
drive
tell you
people
all the corners.
No.
I go that right. I go like that right, left after Kirk Michael petrol
Well, they
station.
used to go from pub to pub, didn't they? And now
Which is
that's
rental,
gotta go
yeah.
out the window.
But everyone, yeah.
So I think the first TT I done was 2005. I drove around a bit in the car, and I used to have Nick Crowes on board from 02, I think it was, and I just battered it. But I was never going to go the same speed as what Nick was doing then.
No.
And I jumped on the bike first night, came down to Bradden Bridge, and I was like, shit. Because I was almost went into the tree because I just tried too hard.
Yeah.
And you
Too
don't
soon.
you didn't realise you were going so fast. So all of a sudden you're like braking like you would in a car, and you're like doing 100 mile an hour quicker.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was too young, but it taught me a lot. Driving around the TT course, every year I come away from the TT, I'm much better rider than I was.
Yeah.
You know, because you learn so much, because you're on the bike so constantly, and you're trying different things all the time.
You never stop learning
No.
the TT
You're
because it
much
changes
better,
every year. The roads change, scenery
Yeah.
changes. That's one of the main
The biggest challenge. I suppose.
unique things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's the same from year to year. Corners change, corners get faster,
Yeah.
some get slower.
Bumps get bigger.
Yeah, it's Sulby Street. The last TT I did in 16, I thought Sulby Street was horrific.
In 2018, it was unbearable. 2018,
All
it was so bad.
It's all the roots under the road, don't they? From
Yeah.
the trees, they reckon.
What about what I refer to? We of course, the TT is the big race. We all know about the biggest motorsport event in the world. We know about that. But then we also have a lesser known, a smaller race, also on the road.
Yeah.
Pretty unique and a great race as well at the Southern 100,
Yeah.
which is down in the south part of the island in the Castletown area.
Yeah.
And what is that? How is that about 6 miles? I'm trying to
Four.
remember.
4.25.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
Sorry, it's
didn't remember.
Sorry.
Yeah, but that there. Let's talk about that.
Do you know why
for a
it's
little
called the
while.
Southern 100?
Yeah, the Southern 100. Let's talk about that a little bit. because-
Do you know why it's called the Southern 100?
No.
Because race used to be 100 miles long.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it would be, yeah.
25 laps, yeah.
It was originally
That'd be more
because
than
of
100 miles.
Derek Ennett to celebrate the guys who
Yeah.
won the TT.
I done 10 lap race track. The championship race used to be 10 laps.
Yeah, 8 laps on there, a pace is handy.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
I
enough.
done it in the first time I done it was 04, and it was lashing it down, like proper lashing it down. I had some wets that were about 15 years old, and like going through Great Meadow full chat, and the thing's like fall on sideways. It's like the 700 it's something else.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter how you run around there. If you do the support race or you do the big race, it's because it's like you set off on a mass start. It's tight. The first corner is even tighter. Then you've got a massive long straight and everyone's trying to tuck and dive. But then it goes real narrow again, and it's bumpy. There's just everything. The club's brilliant as well. The club's
Yeah.
they're good every year, and it's a good event, and everything's like. If you get like a time schedule for the 700, it would be like at 9:03,
You think,
XYZ's go out. At 9:14, someone else is going out. And you're like,
runs like
it's
Oh,
like
it's
that.
like
Clockwork is unbelievable.
It's a well-run
Yeah.
operation.
Oh,
matter
yeah.
of fact,
Yeah.
they have it. I think you raced in that as well too, Ben.
Yeah.
The pre-TT.
No, I was going to with Dave and
You're having troubles, wasn't he? With
In-
his F2, wasn't he?
in 17
Yeah,
or,
you didn't go in.
or was it when he had that bat bike? I don't know, I can't remember.
That was 18.
No, it was 18 because I'd had the metal out of my leg at that point. And I was gonna, because it was a lie down thing.
Yeah.
He said, you just get on, lie down, I'll ride round and you can move as much as you want. But we signed up for that, but he was having trouble with that lie down bike, so he pulled out.
Yeah.
But it was a shame that I was looking forward to it, but obviously his main event's a TT every year.
Yeah.
That's all he builds up for. And
Yeah. Well, the pre-TT's a nice one because we at three-wheeling, we cover all racing on three wheels,
Yeah.
and they have the classics at the pre-TT.
yeah,
And so that's a great event, and I'm happy to say too, we're also the the title sponsor of that race too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the pre-TT of the sidecars,
Yeah.
as we are with the big TT.
Yeah.
They've had some
Right.
great names around there in the sidecars, like
Yeah.
Ralph Engelhart and people like that who have made their names at the TT back in the
Oh yeah.
in the late
But,
40s and 50s.
but I tell you what, there's quite an impressive lineup
Yeah.
at
Oh,
the
it is.
Southern 100.
Yeah.
Oh, there always is, yeah.
All the top boys are out there, just like they are for the TT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Southern was my favourite. I preferred the Southern. Well, I wouldn't say I preferred the Southern to the TT, but it's more.
It's more relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say. Well, it is intense because it's still a road meeting, but it's more of a short circuity race as opposed to a time trial with yourself at the TT. I mean, when I rode with Molly at the TT, you didn't see another bike the whole way around, obviously, because we set off number one and never caught any people who set off at the back end of the field. We never caught with any of them, and nobody overtook us. But like you were saying before about the 700, you got 20 bikes and a mass start on a road no wider than this room. It's pretty
Yeah.
And it's
adrenaline.
windy too, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a bit meaty going into that first corner. It's
when we
you know,
start
it's-
them off, it's quite interesting to see.
yeah,
actually.
it's the
Even the first few laps.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
it's still sort of.
There's a bit of push and shit.
Well, when I was riding my race with Molly at the Southern in 2014, at the front end, and even you get like pockets of.
Yeah. There's
There's little races everywhere, and it never really sorts itself out.
No.
There was.
Apart from Reeves, who went off when the
Yeah.
red lights went on.
Yeah.
That was quite funny.
I saw that. We got. You know, we at three wheeling, and they're great. We have a number of cameramen out there. We have some great videoing
Yeah.
of the Southern 100, and exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's really hammer and tongue.
yeah,
I mean, it is all out.
yeah,
I mean, it's it's a free for all, is what it is.
Yeah.
And you don't have the close quarters like that in the TT for reasons that we all know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing, talking about the TT, of course we have, videoing of all the guys at the TT, and so, some of the middle pack are some of the best filming that we have.
Yeah.
Because that's where there's clusters.
yeah,
You'll get 3 or 4 guys
Yeah.
all together, and they will be going at it,
yeah,
Yeah.
hammer and tongue. Of course, it's all on trial, but they are
You
racing
still
on the
go
road
with
too.
each other,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So, but
That's sometimes a hindrance, though,
It's
isn't it?
scary, yeah. Slow you down.
Yeah, because they sort of naturally the brain goes into short circuit mode and they start trying to outbrake each other and get away.
TT wise, it slows them down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what holds
because
them up.
racing the clock, you're not racing the clock anymore. You start racing each other on the road,
Yeah.
and that's when it.
I try and do it on the TT. If you glance someone, say like you come around the 32nd, and you glance over to the 33rd, you can see someone at the 33rd. You'll think, right, I'm going to try and catch them, sort of coming through Hilbury, or try and pick a point to overtake them.
yeah,
And that's where you try and pin that. Obviously, try and catch them as quick as you can. I always try and figure out where I can overtake them. It's the safest bit. I hate overtaking on the TT. Hate it.
Do you want to go and have a look at some videos?
I've got a video.
well, this guy, wow,
See what we're gonna-
he wants to see some action here.
Yeah,
he can't wait.
He's getting
He
warmed up,
wants to see. You know what? Everyone's getting excited talking.
You
You want somewhere to be, quick, you
Well,
want?
see something.
Put them in
Okay.
spy.
Let's see something. That's what he's saying. He's no patience there. You see what that is? He wants things to go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The timekeeper wants.
He's having a lap
Time
record on
keeping, yeah,
tonight.
time
isn't
on
he?
it.
Yeah, he's timekeeping. Come on,
Yeah, I know. It's the timekeeper.
come on now, Chris. You're pissing about. Let's get going here.
Freak, get on with it there. But okay, so why don't we go ahead and we'll put on we'll go with Carl first here, and we have a montage of some videos there, and it was from a documentary, 37 3/4. So can we show that? Get that on there. right.
It was a bit of
How was
18.
that? That was. Give us a little description then. What you had to say
That was
about
2018. No, that was 17. That was. That was TT 2017.
Oh, I
year
was,
with Max,
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
First year with Max. Oh man, it was a hard 2 weeks. Max came over from France. Didn't speak much English. Still doesn't speak much English.
No.
We had a tough week of practice. Just learning each other really.
Yeah.
And then we finished fifth, which is obviously we were over the moon at finishing fifth together. It was
good.
a cracking result to the end of the fortnight. But yeah.
Yeah,
was a hell of a
Max
fortnight,
was.
wasn't
We'd
we'd gone from sort of like 100 mile an hour average to up to 109 in the week, and like I say, he didn't speak much English, and we had to try and teach him because he'd always passengered like really a lot, passengered every single corner. So we're trying to get him to slow down and move less. But obviously, because he didn't speak English, he was a bit of a tough cookie.
I was taking him round in the car.
Max, obviously Ben took him round,
And he was like a bit of a messing about thing, because I remember from school Tonya Gosh and Tonya Duat, and I was telling him right and left, and I was like, just sit in here, stay in middle, and he's going, no, I gosh, and I was like, no, and he goes, no, really, you just sit in. I was like, yeah mate, just stay still, don't move. And he's like, no, I don't. And I got a translation app on my phone, because it was getting that difficult at times. But he's a lovely fella and a good passenger too. And fair play to him.
From 2017 to 18, the difference in him was unbelievable.
He stepped up to the
He
plate.
stepped up big time. You know, we did, and you know, we get on. We talk a lot still on Facebook, and we're still going to be firing on for 2021. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that Max come. He's broken in. He knows the scene now.
So
that's good.
We speak. So it's either big or good. So he's almost Manx now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's almost
I have to ask you a couple of things here. Well, first of all, thanks for putting the three-wheeling sticker on the bike. I know it's like you were saying, it's on a lot of the bikes, and that's appreciated. But I have to ask you, what about the devil?
So that's Totally Wicked. Totally Wicked, our man. It's a big sponsor of mine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they've helped me out now for 3-4 years. Just a great couple. They love being involved, and down in Douglas.
That's good. Well, see, that's good. I'm glad I raised that. I didn't know that. Well, we like to plug our sponsors.
Yeah.
What happened?
Get good airtime here.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Hannah and Craig keep in touch.
Yeah.
They're very good.
If we're being honest about it, what happened was when we were putting that sticker on, the Totally Wicked bit underneath, we ballsed it up a bit, so we had to take it off, so it was just the devil and not the writing on it. But they knew who they were,
They're still on board now.
Yeah.
They've been good to me. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, let's get on now. This is a three-wheeling a video that we have from 2018.
Yeah.
We've already shown that on Facebook and on YouTube, but it did very well.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good, nice one. So we'll put that one on. Okay, far away.
was a bit of 2018.
Yeah, good year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
And DNF for first race though,
We
didn't
did, yeah, DNF the first race. We Doran's Bend, wasn't it?
Boiled over, didn't it?
I shouldn't really say it out loud. Oil, wasn't it?
Oh,
Oil
sugar,
cooler,
yeah.
Oil cooler went down. I ended up in the pub instead.
oh,
we,
A lot of people do that.
But Tony Baker, that was the day Tony Baker had his accident.
Yeah, it
so
was,
we'd,
yeah.
my bike was on the outside of the course, so I couldn't get it back for the restart. So we went to the pub. Walter the Timbled in, actually, and then we got it back for the second race. The speeds are down in 18. I did struggle. I found out why now, but I struggled in 18 for speed. But as a year for me and Max riding together, he'd stepped up to a different level of
That
passing.
pace, yeah.
He was much better, and there's still lot to come. I felt more like that I'd let him down that year, just because of the speed and what have you. But 18, we had some good rides and we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was the last TT I'd done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing the difference in how much that change in the way a passenger manages it
Yeah, I
can
mean,
change your speed overall.
there was just like little bits, and it wasn't like 17 passenger like if we passenger in LCR, where you'd get more forward on the bike, whereas on a molly bike you need to get right around the back of it to make it handle better. And it was just like crossover. You just didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
You didn't have enough time, and sort of like 4 Manx lunatics. He was, he was through right in the deep end.
Yeah, he did well. He did well, to be
Didn't
fair, with me, Swanee, and Phil being
did,
pit crew,
you know.
and Carl as a driver. He didn't stand much chance, but he did well.
He did.
Fair play to
I
him.
think I spent one morning. I went for breakfast with Max and like his French friends, and for breakfast, and I was like watching tennis the whole time.
That's how he felt with us.
That's how he felt all the time.
I still think that sneaky bugger knows more than he lets on. I do.
Yeah, Max, we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think he takes in more and understands more than he lets on.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. I got some nice shots of Max. Yeah. I got some. He was he was with you at the Southern too.
He was, yeah.
I remember.
He
was kind of talking to him.
Yeah.
Guy.
He doesn't
I
really
got some
say.
nice pictures of him.
Yeah, he's good,
Yeah.
and he wanted to come back to the Southern. Like I say, I love doing the Southern anyway. So he come back, and it's a big trip to come from Paris, and he came over at the start of 18. We decided that we were going to do it, and he said that he would come over more often to get some more track time. And he came over like early March for the Derby meeting, and it snowed.
Yeah.
Then like 3 weeks later or something, he flew back again, and we went. No, maybe about 6 weeks later, he flew back again, and we went really well. I think we won both races of Derby that day. The thing about Max is he's like amazing at setting a bike up.
He's good on too. He's a MotoGP mechanic,
He's a mechanic on
yeah,
MotoGP bikes.
he
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's he can set a bike up.
Yeah.
Good on suspension, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll just ride around a problem where he'll just if it's handling bad, he'll just give me a squeeze, come in, bit of a click.
That was one of the things at Derby at that meeting. He came in and suspension is big.
We're just going on there, a couple of clicks, and then
Well, he understands Manx now. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, he is. He's a good passenger.
Good.
And those little changes can make all the difference.
Oh, the difference.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, I rode with Binsey and Swanee 2 weeks beforehand, and we couldn't figure it out. I was riding around, but I was just trying my balls and just couldn't get it to go.
Yeah.
And then he come round, there's like 2 clicks. He said put a tooth on the back, and we put a tooth on the back. Max done 2 clicks on the shock, and it was a different bike.
Yeah.
He went from like battling for like third to just clearing off. It was the day that Hopey kept spinning, and there was 3 of us there, but we had each one of us led the race, and I won them in the end.
Spinning top LCR Hope. Poor bugger.
Was that the silver bullet?
Yeah. You always turn them right, always gone a bit too far right, actually.
I should have sent you the footage for that as well.
Gotta love them.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? With all that, everybody's getting new bikes and
I mean, there's the calibre of the bikes at Derby now
yeah.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, the field up there
the
is
field there's good.
all sort of top 10 at the TT capable,
Yeah.
easily.
And there's going to be more next year.
Yeah. Young Harry Payne and Ollie coming through there.
Yeah.
He's doing 1 minute 10s. And for season there.
First season there, he's
Not
doing
shabby at all.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He's a good rider.
He's putting what he's putting in is on there as well, isn't he? He's on working on that bike all the time. And he's putting his graft in. He's riding a lot. You know, and he's good. He's put his heart into it. He has.
Riding a lot helps though, doesn't it?
Yeah. In fact, we're wearing his colours.
Yeah. He'll have to keep going fast because there'll be plenty of people, I'll tell you now, of their eye on young Ollie Lace as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think when you get a good team like that, I think they're good.
And they're mates,
Good
so
mates,
yeah. They'll stay together. He wouldn't
Yeah.
he wouldn't stick one in his back, would he?
That's the big thing as well, isn't it? It's sidecar racing isn't just two individual blokes on a bike. It's the actual teamwork between them.
Yeah, you got to trust it. You got to trust the man, haven't you?
Yeah.
Technically, Patrick says it in the film, doesn't he? I don't think there's any other sport like it where you've technically got each other's lives in your hands.
Oh yeah, that's true. We got you. That leads right into the next one. We'll put up one of your videos here from the movie. Now he was in the movie here, and everybody now they get to know him even better here now. Aren't they lucky?
Unfortunate, I'd say. These fellas will tell you a short snipper's not too bad. A couple of years,
2-minute montage,
bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, but a montage with a helmet on's okay.
It's like that night out we had. We were going around Douglas, and we were trying to sell the beer mat that you stood inside.
I know,
raise some cash to go race.
Yeah, that was in the market.
That was in the market.
I think the biggest bid we got on that was about 30 pence.
I mean, that's what to get rid of us.
Phil wanted to get on the pub.
I think it was one of us.
Okay.
We're gonna go with the lap record.
Yeah.
That's a snippet out of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, put that on there.
Dave Molyneux, 1,000,000% dedication. You know, there's nothing else in his life that would get in the way of his racing. He's 110%, well, not 110%, he's 1,000,000% committed. Everything, it's everything to him. The build-up throughout the whole year is to the TT. It was mega, you know. When he first asked me in 2011, you know, I had to think about it for about 2 seconds, and I thought, you know, what's the worst? I'm going to fall off at Derby, but I've ridden with my hero. But to go to the TT with him was something else. Concentration before a race, like I say, it happens to different people at different stages. When I put my helmet on, as soon as the helmet's on, that's it, fully focused. Dave, he changes, you can see him change before any meeting, TT, anywhere. He's sort of like, and his face changes and you know he's in the zone, then you don't know not to ask him stupid questions, or what you might think isn't a stupid question would be a stupid question to him when he's in the zone, like I was saying to you before. You know, fellas who interview on the start line at the TT, they've got to be there, but they've got a tough job, you know, and other people ask you, you know, are you here to win today? Like I said to you before, no, we're here to try our tits off and finish second, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous questions like that annoy people. You see everybody going into the zone. If you're not in the zone, you shouldn't be doing it because you're not concentrating properly. When somebody said, oh, you've broke the lap record, it was like, well, you know, Dave, I loved it. I thought it was great. Dave probably, he would have loved it as well, but he wanted to win, as did I. But, you know, you went as fast as you did on the day, and unfortunately we got beat by 7 seconds or something. I mean, and it was pretty good to be the first man to average 116, you know. Obviously 7 seconds ahead of the Birchells, but nevertheless the first crew to do it. And the lap record it's a special thing to have.
Wow. What do you say about that? It was exciting.
It was a good day.
Oh yeah.
It was a good day after the disappointment of retiring in the lead in the first race, that sort of made up for it. I mean, to stand on a TT podium's something else, what we all aspire to get on the top step. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for me, but you know, it's where you want to be, and if you get up there once in a lifetime, it's. I've always said finishing the TT is an amazing achievement. Anything that happens after that's a bonus, and I still stand by that now. You know, people who aren't involved don't really. You hear nonsense all the time, like, oh, well, Dave Mullen, he's gonna win, isn't he? But the amount of things you've got to get right for that to actually happen, you from the outside. Yeah. Looking in when you don't know about the sport, it's unbelievable the amount of things that got to go. And you've got to get a bit of luck on the day as well. You have to have luck.
Yeah.
You know, you do, don't you?
It, yeah.
It's so many things go wrong. I mean, look, me and Dave had ridden together since 2011, on and off. We'd done the Southern 100. We'd been to meetings away. Thousands went into the preparation for the TT, and a wheel bearing that cost about 15 quid broke, that put us out the race, and you're like, you know, is it fair? Probably not, but that's tough life. It happens, and there's no point in crying about it.
Yeah.
You get up, but that was a good day, yeah. It was
that was a good day.
Unbelievable, really, to be sat in that room afterwards with Dan, Tom and Ben, John Old, Dave Molyneux, multiple TT winners and world champions, and be the fastest man in the room. I was quite proud of that, considering it was only my third TT, and I'd only ever done 104 before that. So it was, you know, I had to work hard for it, man. Don't get me wrong. I trained hard. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. Living the boyish lifestyle I was leading, so I had to get pushed aside, and I was 110% focused. Trained all the time. I used to go run up the grandstand steps and run across the top of the grandstand and up and down and round. And my mate came with me, Reese, who was meant to be coming tonight, but he's on a bit of a drinking session. And he said, "Why do you keep coming running around here?" I said, "Because I keep looking at that podium, because that's where I want to be."
Yeah.
And fortunately, I got there. Some people try for years and never get anywhere near.
Yeah.
I got there in my third year, and I appreciate Dave giving me the opportunity to get there, because you sort of know when you get on with people like that, and Carl, you're going to be at the business end of the race, if you know what I mean, with no disrespect to anybody else.
Yeah.
Because you sort of have people at the TT, have your 116s, then your 112s, then your 110s, and you know, people are happier doing that and chipping away and going faster and faster, but when you get on with certain names, you know you're going to be there and thereabouts, top 6-ish, maybe.
What was the biggest difference between that 104 and the 116 plus for you as a passenger?
The what? The biggest?
That change. What was the big
everywhere?
You only had about 24 hours in between each one.
It was. We went. First night you go out and do steady. We did 2 laps. We did 110.9 on the first one, and the second one I think we still did 114 something, and we had a flat tyre from the Cregna bar. And then we didn't get out till a Wednesday.
No, it was bad weather.
So it was Wednesday,
Yeah.
and Thursday we broke down on the second lap. Friday we set the fastest practice time. We were top of the sheet, and well, Saturday away both fella crack on and hold on. That was it. And obviously we never finished the first lap in the lead, but retired.
Brandish, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, like I said, we were coming up just after the mountain mile, and where his brake pedal was, I thought, well, there's not meant to be sparks of metal coming out of here. Something's a tad wrong, and you could feel it handling a bit bad in the back end, and he pulled in at Brandish, and I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I don't know, I think it's the wheel bearing." Took the seat unit off, and the swinging arm was blue. It was
just with the
heat of the
glass. It was knackered. But back to your question, I don't really know, David. There was 2 parts I wouldn't say I struggled with, but I thought were hard. Bottom of Bagaro, couldn't stand that. You go through there at that speed, and I don't know how your collarbones just don't pop out your skin. I really don't. and is it the 11th after the Cronkavodi?
Yeah.
And you go right into that
and
left.
yeah.
By the time you've got left, you know you've done it well, because the chair wheel just comes up and hits your ass as you're sitting down. But you wouldn't want to be missing that speed going through there. No chance. But they were the only two parts I wouldn't say I struggled with. I disliked, really. I wasn't keen on
You
them
think
at all.
about them?
Oh yeah.
I bet you don't think about them,
yeah, no. Like that little big arrow, and you get back in thinking, oh, only two more times. But yeah, that was at the bottom of Big Arrow. No, it's not for me.
What's your favourite?
My
What's your
favourite
favourite places?
Start and finish lines. No, I mean, setting off at number one's another thing. You're the first man looking down the road, thinking it's just us on the road, and hopefully we're not going to see anybody else because nobody's going to overtake us. So, and when you finish, you think, I'm back here, one piece, and we've done all right. The bike's in one piece. We've done all
Someone
about
said
car.
their favourite part of the track was the return road.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Similar. I think one of the guys said that once.
That's really you're a lucky man to get up there, aren't you? To finish your TT. It's the ultimate test on man, machine, body and soul. To come up the return road is, I don't know, it's a gift to anybody, isn't it, really? Yeah. Whether you get swung right into the winner's enclosure or not, it's everybody's been cheering for you, and you've got there and you've done it, and you've conquered the TT course. Yeah. You finished. And you're not racing against anyone else, you're racing against your PB, you're racing against the stopwatch, aren't you? It just happens to be another 40 bikes on the track with you. But yeah, my favourite bit's the finish line. Getting into the beer tent. Celebrate a good day.
Yeah. And it's good, something that you can share with everybody that's been involved on the way, on that journey to it, because it's not just the TT, is it? It's
not a TT, no. It's
you're
52 weeks before that.
Yeah, you're planning it for a year, aren't you?
Yeah, 52. Yeah.
And all those little sponsors that you see on on yours, like all the little names on
That's
the side.
it, yeah.
2018, I even managed to get my dad to get his hand in his pocket to help Carl out. And he's
I've still got the engine.
He's tighter than a submarine door, that fella. But yeah, let's say that with Carl, I helped him out. A couple of my mates did sponsor Maclo, didn't they? And, what's his name? The ground worker who you've had for years. Sorry, I forget his name.
James McDonald.
Yeah.
James McDonald.
Sponsored
me for a long time.
Yeah.
Anti exhaust, they sponsored me.
Andy Farragher.
Yeah. And obviously Dave does a lot of work.
Yeah, Molly
does a lot of work.
Helps out.
Does a lot of work. He's
But all these little things from people add up. When I rode with Dave Hurst, I had all my mates across the bottom, £100 sponsors, and I got 28 in. It's 2,800 quid. You know, it's not to be.
So if that is it.
No. It all helps.
It does, yeah. You know, someone that hands you 20 quid for a bit of fuel.
Yeah.
It's 20 quid. It's all 20 quid.
You're not taking out next month's mortgage. True though.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
I need a set of tyres.
After the show, right? Everybody's going to see this around the world. You're getting all kinds of sponsors.
Yeah.
Just name the price. Now start getting picky here, you guys. Yeah. What's the minimum?
I'll take it.
You know, $5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Well, set the minimum right away.
I wouldn't mind being on a salary, a yearly salary, to be fair.
Yeah.
Couple of, $1,000 a week would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As well as a bike. So you don't have to work and just look after the bike.
Well, it is great. I tell you, that's how I got involved with the sport.
Yeah.
And I was a spectator, and I would come every year. And then, to make a long story short, I started getting close to the sport, and then I sponsored some of the top guys in the sport, and now I'm sponsoring the entire sport. It's freewheeling.
Yeah, man.
But you guys out there that got some money in your pocket there, get out here and support these guys, because it is some experience. Become part of the team. Get immersed with the guys, and it's fantastic. They appreciate it, and I tell you, there's nothing else. It's the second best thing to actually racing. To be part of the team. If you're a sponsor, you go out there with the guys. You have all the drama of going out, out on Park Fermi, out on the grid. going up to the start line. Hey, huh?
The start
And
line.
for the biggest motorsport event in the world.
Yeah.
So everybody get out there. I'm talking to you guys that got money. Get out
Pictures.
here and start sponsoring these boys.
Pictures, passes, a couple of sarnies and a beer.
Oh yeah.
In the hostility. I mean,
Yeah.
hospitality.
Hospitality tent.
And yeah, that's good. I'm getting you mentioned that, but we're going to have a real fine hospitality at the three-wheeling
Yeah.
tent right off the Winners enclosure.
Yeah.
We got our retail there. Get out there and support the sport by buying some of our merch, and we also got he'll be. I can see him smiling. He's going to be there. We got the hospitality. We'll give you a few drinks here.
Clueless chief caterer.
I'm usually
Cheap
too
caterer.
busy.
I'm not
We're
even.
firing them mince pies. I'm still trying to get rid of them.
But he's a timekeeper.
Yeah, we don't. We do a lot. Yeah, we don't usually get to see any of that. We're across.
I know he's been on the case already tonight, hasn't he? Come on now.
All right. So
We've got
now
10 minutes left, boys. Come on.
let's go on. We got plenty of. We got two more videos, and then we got some photos.
Yeah.
So you guys talk about. So next one. Now this one here is with your driver, your partnership you had with Dwight.
Yeah.
This is also an excerpt from the movie.
Yeah.
And we'll just play that. Then Benzie, you could just add a bit after we get done with the little clip. Okay, could you put that on, Ben?
But I'd just like to dedicate this podium to Dwight Bear. He was a good friend of ours. Yeah, sadly lost his life in the first race, so thinking of you, buddy.
Obviously, I'll never forget, but I think about him every day. It was just a tribute more than anything, and a bit of an honour thing. His ambition was to win a TT and be British champion, and he wanted to come here because he said to be the best, you got to beat the best. So that was his attitude, and he got stuck in from the word go. At the crash scene, I landed at the side of the road, and I was sort of like facing towards the other way, and I thought, you know, my knee's a bit sore. And I turned around to look at it, and when my foot was sort of up by my ribs, I thought, you know, we're in a bit of bother here. And then I went to the hospital, and they said, you know, it's going to be possible amputation. And I said, you're not cutting it off. Shattered tibia, plateau, the top end. Basically, they said there was more breaks than they could count. Scar up there from there to there, and on the inside from there to there. And there's one, you can't really see it now, it's gone away quite well actually. And there's a plate comes up here and wraps around the top of the tibia, and there's one that goes up the inside here and wraps around there. And a load of screws in each side holding it all together. I mean, you can see the metal sticking out there, you can actually feel it underneath. You know, sometimes in racing accidents do happen, and you know what you're doing when you set off, do you know what I mean? It's like signing up for the army, then complain you got shot. You know, you don't feel any different about it. You just want to get as fit as you can, as quick as you can, and get back out there.
Yeah, you know, that wasn't such a good year for obvious reasons, but like I say, we all know what we're doing, and that's unfortunately part of life. I was fortunate enough to survive. Obviously, Dwight didn't, but there'd be no. I don't think he'd have any ill feeling towards racing now. You know, wherever he is, it's life, and it can happen to anybody
At any time.
at any time.
Yeah.
You could walk out of your trip and smack me head off the curb and die. It's one of them. But yeah, it was tough afterwards as well. Getting back, struggled a bit with mental health, which seems to be a bit of a topic of modern day at the minute. But went to see something like that sorted out, and it's glad to be back racing. And I know Dwight would be glad to see me back racing. And yeah, tough old game really. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do was sit. It was when I was sat in Nobles Hospital and, you know, look at his mum and dad in the eye and sort of feel guilty for being alive, if you know what I mean. It was it was bizarre, but I still speak to Robin and Noel now, and Noel comes over every TT and he likes to see how we're getting on and keep in touch. And lovely family, lovely family. Always ask how I'm getting on, and you know, they were happy for the son doing what he was doing, and they told me they wouldn't change anything. Obviously they'd change him, they'd bring him back, but apart from, he led a full life, like his dad said. It may have been short, but he did everything he wanted to do, and you can't ask any more than that from somebody, can you? Some people are here a long time, some people are short. There's people who live to 100 years that won't have lived as much as Dwight.
Yeah.
In 27 years, so yeah, sad, but unfortunately it's not tiddlywinks, is it?
Yeah, well, that's it. Sad, yeah, but we're all family.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
We all know each other. And here, Dwight is from way over Australia.
Yeah.
And like we say, we're all family.
Yeah.
And I've become friends with Dwight's dad, Noel, and Mom. Robin and even the brother Declan. And they come across. Yeah. Anyways, after that tragic year, I see them every year. Where mostly, I think it was last year, I did see him too again at the TT.
Yeah.
So
like you say, with the family thing, everybody rallied round to help me, and I thank everybody for that. While we're doing this video, that's going to go out there to everyone. If you help me financially, mentally, or he was a big help to me, as were a load of my other friends, and my missus mostly. But yeah, it was, everyone helped in whatever way they could, you know, rallied round. And Molly was a big help to me, lent me an automatic car. He picked me up from the hospital after my operation. I stayed with my mate Reese for a month because he had a downstairs toilet, and he was lifting me in and out the bath, God love him. I had a pair of shorts on though, because he didn't want to be seeing the big fella waving about in his face while he was lifting me in and out. But, yeah, and then me and Carl said we talk about it still all the time now, and he'll never be forgotten. And I always said to Dwight, he's the man we want to be aiming for at the minute. And then when we beat him, we need to start thinking about the Molyneux and the Reeveses and the Birchells. And we were in and around Carl, and yeah, Carl was our target that year. We were getting in and near him at Derby, but we didn't think we'd be near him at the TT. Unfortunately, we never found out. But yeah, he'll never be forgotten. One hell of a nice fella too. One of the nicest fellas you'd have ever met in your life. Genuine gentleman. Was. Couldn't do enough for you, could he?
No. Good for parties, wasn't he? Not very good at it.
No, he wasn't very good at drinking, no. He always suffered with terrible hangovers.
The worst hangovers, didn't he?
I think going out with me and you didn't help him. Off, man.
We say hi to all the family out in Australia. Hey? We give a three-wheeling side to Noel and Robin.
Yeah, Deckers and Hudson.
Hudson. Yeah. Well,
that's the good thing, though, isn't it? Really? Cause
another two quality lads as well.
Yeah.
Deckers is into the F1 now. Sorry to butt in, Dave.
Racing.
He's got Noel on the side.
Yeah. Well, Noel's just still racing.
Yeah.
That old is never going to be
good.
He went on that Vincent.
Good talking that way.
Yeah.
Well,
he goes on that Vincent every now and again.
Yeah, the Vincent. Yeah. Another lovely piece of machinery. Yeah.
It shocked so many people.
Yeah.
When they roll out of Vincent, see Alan Henry. Like, all right.
Yeah.
And then off into the distance. But that's kind of like the good thing though, because people like Dwight and they'll never be forgotten by the paddock, and a lot of people don't see that side of racing.
No, yeah. The emotional side of it. It's like Melly said Craig Melvin that did was he on the first show here? It never. at the TT, and this is going to sound harsh, when somebody passes in a race and you don't know them, you're sort of like, well, it happens. You know, everybody's got to get on with it. But when it's a bit closer to home, that's what Melly said. It really sort of affected him because he knew Dwight. Wait, I'm not saying he didn't care when it happened to somebody he didn't know, but it just didn't.
Well, it's like family.
It just happened.
It didn't hit you as hard, if you know what I mean.
You got to put it in a box.
Yeah, if you thought about it all the time, you'd never do it yourself, would you?
Yeah.
We have it. We do have it memorialized in the movie now. Dwight.
Yeah.
And at the end too, you know. Ian Bell as well.
Yeah. Another top man.
That a great family, great racing family too. And that was the second race.
Yeah.
That accident with Carl and Ian.
Yeah.
But we memorialized them in our film, and so at least that will live on.
Yeah.
And the film we're still selling. It's such a classic. It's such a unique film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That we keep selling and selling and selling. It's always a steady stream of people buying the downloads and the DVDs and that.
Yeah.
So
it's a good insight into the.
But it was from the inside, so it was all these things were done right because it was from within the family, within the people that were in the sport. It wasn't a commercialized rendition of what happened.
You see what actually happens, nitty gritty nonsense all in the back. It's not just fancy fairings flying around. And,
and it's not just the top boys as well.
But the emotions are so high. They're so extreme. But then what happens when you get this?
You get extreme lows.
So it's the lowest you can get. It's the highest you can get.
Well, like
but it's the lowest you can get too.
My dad said to me when I first started racing, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's life changing. He wasn't wrong. There's never been a true statement said. But you just you hope it doesn't happen to you.
It's all these things, but the love that you guys have for the sport.
Yeah.
See, it's more than a sport, actually. It is a sport, but it's more than a sport. From a personal standpoint, it's more than a sport.
It's lifestyle.
It's a lot more sport. It's different than kicking a ball around out in the field. I don't care how good you are. It can't have the same impact that you have in your personalities and the things that you've experienced, good and bad. It's just not there.
It's all part of the racing.
Part of the story, isn't it?
It's a great sport.
It's rare that you don't get anybody that won't help you out. It's not like any other sport that'll go that is competitive, that is big mega money being spent. You got to admit, like even the guys that are running 20th and 25th spend shed loads of money to do it. And it's not like 50p here and 50p there.
No.
And
big dollar.
But anybody would help each other out. Whereas in another sport, you wouldn't get that. You'd be going, no, I'm not telling you how to set that up.
You
know, but you could go and talk to somebody and go like, how was yours handled so well around there?
I'm not telling you.
Well, let's get on. You got the next Derby.
Okay, three-wheelers, here we are on a nice sunny day here in Derby in the Isle of Man.
The championship race for the sidecars is over an 8-lap distance. 6 chairs are in the mix today.
You've got Molly over there. He's just a legend, isn't he? Young Harry and Ollie, they seem to be doing really well. You've got the Crows, they're awesome. Jacko, it's great to see him back out. The majority of the local guys, they all perform really well.
We just got done with a bit of practice. How did things go this morning?
The bike feels pretty good. I wish we had it out at TT. That would have been interesting because it's an all-new chassis that I built this winter, and just getting used to it really. Haven't done any more than probably 150 miles on it, but at least we're getting to get miles on it.
It was 2015 that Ben rode as passenger for Dave, isn't that correct?
That was a good fortnight, to be fair. Well, we led a TT and broke down, and then obviously did the lap record in the second race and finished second to the Birchells, you know, and we went as fast as we could, and we got beaten. That's the top and bottom of it, really. But it was a good day, Still a pretty fast time even now, 5 years on.
I've been around a long time, 40 years racing this year, and it's easy to get bored, so I keep throwing silly amounts of hours in the garage and thinking I might be able to make something but I'm also getting bloody old, so it's it's the biggest obstacle.
There we go. Who is going to get the whole shot on this one? It's going to be a pretty ding-dong race, this. Lights go on, and away we go. Who gets the whole shot? Is it going to be Molly? Is it going to be Harry Payne? Is it going to be the Crow Boys? But it's Harry Payne. Dave Molyneux's being closed up by the Crow Boys, and there goes the triumph. He's blasted past Dave Molyneux, so the Crow Boys up to second place. The Crow Boys really trying. Sidecar wheel into the air once more. Wow, that's really going. Is he going to make a move and get ahead of Harry Payne? They're flying up, and they've got past him. Yep, so the Crow Boys take the lead on the drag once more. 7 now from 45 and 4. They're your front 3. The Crow Boys just pulling away a little bit. Here we go, folks. Oh, Harry Payne and Ollie Ace haven't gone a long way round. But Dave Molyneux getting a little bit racy at the end here and closing right in. Yeah, so it is number 7 that takes the win from 45 from 4. Ooh, Dave went a little bit of grass tracking there at the end. But number 7 a win for the Crow Boys on the Triumph.
We just ran the first race, and congratulations, guys.
We had to set off 4th, so we had to get past Dave on the first one and then Harry on the next lap.
Good race. We were in second for the whole race. Unfortunately, he encountered a back marker on the second to last corner, which allowed Dave and Ben to close right in on us, and I wasn't aware how close they were. Just rolled off a little bit too soon on the finish line, and they just got me by 0.005 of a second or something, which was absolutely gutting, obviously, but it's one of them. We did the fastest lap that we've ever done this way, so I'm happy we're progressing. We'll keep moving forward and just have another crack later.
Everybody take care from wherever they are in the world. See you next time. Three-wheeling by the sport, for the sport.
So maybe you could tell us about the incident there.
Just, well, as you come through the start and finish, like Harry said in the video there, we closed up on a back marker. Harry went the slower route, we went the faster route, but caught up with him, and as you come into there, there's only one way through that left-right chicane after the start and finish going round clockwise, and Harry was on the line to get through it and we weren't. And that's the top and bottom of it. So we took the curb, took the fair, and I ended up over the front looking at the grass thinking, me, not again. And then I just managed, I think Dave pushed me back in, or I got back in. And we went round with no fairing on and pulled back in, and that was sort of the end of our day, really, after the first race. But yeah, that's just racing, isn't it? That's what happens.
Yeah. We can all laugh about that one.
Yeah. There's something to laugh about in it.
That's it, yeah.
Absolutely wrecked the fairing, but yeah.
Yeah. That's racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not having a bit of a to do here and there, you're not trying hard enough, are you? Simply, really, that's the top and bottom of it. That's what I remember you saying that to me years ago. You're not crashing, you're not trying hard enough. That's correct to a certain degree, but not if you're cartwheeling all the time.
Cartwheeling all the time, yeah.
You're doing something terribly wrong then.
I used to go off all the time with JB Mead. I had such a bad red mist, and it's just like one day a guy said to me, he said, it's all about controlled aggression. You get to that point of aggression, but slow it down a little bit, take a step back.
Sometimes you've got to slow down to go quicker.
And then after that day, just changed everything.
Yeah. Do you guys like going out there? It's good.
Yeah.
Jerby's brilliant. I've raced with Jerby Carl. I did 2 meetings with Carl.
Jerby's you won't find a track harder to ride than Jerby.
No.
It's horrific.
Hardest track in Britain.
It's hard on. There's fast corners, slow corners, tight corners, twisty corners, bumps everywhere.
No rest.
There's just no rest.
No rest for a passenger. Driver's easy.
When I go to a short circuit in the UK, I struggle with how wide it is and how smooth it is. So you can actually get like a slide on and you can control the slide. Whereas Jerby, the thing's so out of shape all the time. I think that's sometimes
sounds like all of our racing here on the island.
Yeah, I think that's what makes us a better TT rider. Yeah. That's why we progress so better at TT.
Oh yeah, you used to it it's sort of like a golf course, I would imagine.
It's a tarmac motocross.
The hardest one, yeah.
And
then when you get to a record course, you go, what's this? This is child
It's all the smoothness, Yeah.
It
is. Yeah, we've got a good club. We've got a good club behind us.
Racing association.
Good people running it now. We're going to go from strength to strength.
Good.
It's good.
We're getting more and more young guys coming on board too.
Yeah.
I tell you, hey, we'll talk about that in a minute here. The lineup that we have here on the Isle of Man, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Of course, we have our veterans, but then Well, I'm thinking, and we have you guys too.
You were talking about Molly there, when you say veterans.
Veterans, see, veterans, he's been through the wars, this guy. Yeah. Molly's like, by the way, for everybody watching, we're going to have him on the show. Yeah. The all-time Sidecar TT winner. What's the nickname?
Sled God.
It's a Sidecar.
Sled God.
Sled God. Yes. Yeah. So we're going to have him on. But he's working it out here. This guy here is the timekeeper. He hasn't had the date yet. No, he's good. He's good mates of all of us. We're going to get him on, and so that will be a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what do we say now? We put some photos up, guys.
Yeah.
Get on with that.
Bit of a chat about them. Yeah. That's me and Dwight there in the new leathers. Start of 2016 season. That was Alton Park.
Yeah.
Mine were a bit tight. Them leathers. I only wore them for the first session, but we actually finished 4th in the British race, but we were actually in the cup class. We won the cup race, but finished 4th in the actual British race. Did the fastest lap of the race and broke the cup lap record, which still stands today. So that was a good day with Dwighty. That was when the Fairham was in the old colours. But yeah, good picture, that. Real good picture. That was first time back on with Molly at Derby. Actually probably shitting myself there. Jacko's looking at my ass, you can see from behind. But yeah, it was nice to get back on with Dave, to still be considered to ride with him after the injury I had, and it was a good day. We won both races that day, anti-clockwise, and that was the 50th. That was the 50th anniversary of Andrews Racing Association, and that exact date was the 40th year since Dave did his first race at Derby.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good to win that. To be fair, that was that's my daughter there. God love her. That was us in the Holden area for the second race, and she just came up to me and gave me a massive hug. You can't see me because I'm off the camera, and she just said, "Love you, Daddy. I go watch you now." And she ran off. I think she went to stand by Carl, to be fair. She kept saying to Carl, "My daddy on the red bike." But that's what it's about as well. Kids in the paddock, you know, they love it as much as they want to see you do well. Yeah. That picture, I'm so glad. I remember that like it was yesterday, and I'm so glad somebody got it on camera. That picture means more to me than any trophy I've ever won. It's a man grabbing you by the chin there that you've admired and looked up to for 2015. 22 years at the time, and he said, "You did good, son. I knew you could do it. I'm proud of you."
Yeah.
And after that, that's in the winners' enclosure. I wasn't really too asked about getting on the podium, to be fair. I was like, well, that'll do. Thanks very much. Yeah. It was mint.
And this one's me. I don't know what I'm checking. Well, that's, I think, bad luck to me, that's 2018 TT. Start line. I'll be probably trying to look busy, I suppose. Again, it must be just getting close to putting my helmet on. I started looking down Glen Country Road, bit of a panic on, and yeah, ready to go.
I like those shades.
Yeah, I've lost it now. Yeah, that's hiding the fear, that is. That's Max's helmet there. Max he's got a friend in France that does all the the decals and that. He's designed all that for us, and obviously both of them matching. And there's my top brolly bird there, Ben Bins.
The crew chief.
The crew chief.
Yeah. He's everywhere.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's everywhere. He's a bit of a bag.
I'm looking down Glen Country Road there thinking, fair play to you boys. Fair play to you.
There's me and Max. I get as soon as when I put my earplugs in, that's when not so much panic, but that's when it starts to get serious. They've either just put like a 3-minute board up or something like that, and you just get ready to put your hat on, and you're starting to just zone out from everyone else. I think that's Dino, is it? Dino's on G3. Talking to Swanee there on the far right, looks slightly Chinese. Binsey, my mate Phil. Phil's kind of he was my next door neighbour as a kid, and
yeah,
he's always make sure he's the last person to tap me on my back before I leave, and they're all three of them are there for me all the time. And there's the team.
All the full family outfit.
Full family outfit. We've got sponsors in there.
Deckers in there,
yeah. Cousins, uncles, even the fella that cuts my hair's there. All around Turkish barber. I mean, like that's what's in the background. No one sees that. They'll just see two guys on the bike, and that's everyone there that's stuck by me through the years. Through good TTs, bad TTs. When I'm throwing a tantrum, and even Clukie over there, he knows I throw a tantrum. I throw some good tantrums.
It's good though, because it shows how many people are actually involved behind the scenes, and it's not just the two guys on the bike.
It's like the t-shirts there, trying to raise a few quid. I mean, we make about 3 or 4 quid in a t-shirt, so you sell 100 at the TT, and you're not even into 2 tyres. But it's good, and everyone will buy one. No one there was given one. We all buy one to stick money into the fund to carry on going and try to keep the show on the road. That's me when Pete Founds asked me to get on because his passenger Jevon was injured. Previous meeting I rode with John Lowther and got a 2nd and a 3rd in the British Championship, but that was my first and only British Championship win after I came back from the knee injury after being told I'd never race again. So yeah, pretty proud of that day. That's me, Chief Brolly Dolly in the middle there with Swanee, and my missus has taken the selfie. She's in the bottom corner there. Max and Jenny and Carl and Phil, and just a bit of a start line picture before you go.
But that's
just
happy, innit?
Yeah, best place to be on the planet at that time of the year.
I can see a 3-wheeling umbrella there.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm holding.
No, I've seen that picture before.
Yeah.
I was hoping one of you guys are going to bring it. I forget, but that shows you again, the natural team spirit.
Yeah, that's it.
That you have, it comes across.
Yeah,
and that picture is a good one.
Yeah. That's me and Dwight at Quarter Bridge. That must have been practice or maybe the first race. I don't know, but what a fairing, what a team. That's when we had the new helmets there and the new leathers, and yeah, a shame everything was right that year. Money was no object. We had a cracking sponsor in Clive Coates, and yeah, everything was right. It just went wrong, unfortunately. That's me on with Adrian Harrison on his dad Conrad's kettle, Cadwell Park. My one and only time in the front exit, and I think it'll be the last of them, being honest. That's serious men with big stuff. That's sticking your head out of there. It wasn't for me, I must say, but I enjoyed it. But I won't be going back to it in a hurry.
It kind of shows how much the guys that used to do the TT.
You what? Sticking your head out around the road circuit? You insane? I put my ass out, but not my head.
Yeah. I mean, you could catch a wall with that.
Have it a neat clean off.
And they're on 10-inch tyres.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of guys, plenty of our friends that love that type of racing around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's popular, the classics.
Yeah.
We need to get a few classic guys on.
One of the biggest meetings in the world is in Belgium.
Yeah. Classic.
We love it. We love the classics. Yeah.
And that's me on with his brother, the lunatic Dean Harrison. That was a good weekend. We turned up. I'm actually borrowing someone else's leathers there because mine were wet through from the day before. But his mother, who's actually my godmother, Conrad's my godfather, Harrison, who races Sidecar.
Yeah.
And she said, "Why have you brought your old leathers with you, Ben?" I said, "Well, Dean's never ridden one of these before. Chances are we're going to crash." She went, "I don't think so." I said, "Well, you don't know, do you?" But I said to Dean, I'd be happy to qualify for the A race because it was an A and B race that weekend. It was a Sidecar festival, and I said if we finished last in the A, it'd be better than being in the B. And I think we had 5th, 7th, 8th, and a 4th. And he said to me on the start line, "Why can't I stay in them top 3 fellas?" I said, "It's the first time you've ridden one, you idiot." And he did it. He did a 140. I can't remember the lap time now, but he was pretty handy going round. He wasn't hanging about. It was good.
That's another guy I want to get on the show. You come for that too. It's Conrad. when he's on the high when he comes on. We got to get him on.
It was born.
Oh, you know, he's good. He's good. Great.
Him and my dad are good mates. That's obviously
we'll
why.
Bring him on too.
Yeah,
we'll have a party.
I was born. Me and him were born not too far away from each other, and we've been mates since we were kids. And he's outstanding on a solo, and if he persevered at sidecars, he'd be good at that. So he's just one of those that's good at everything. That was me on with John Holden at Croft, the man who can't keep the chair wheel down. That's me, not John.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good experience. I got on with him because his passenger, John could have won the British Championship that weekend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his passenger fell off in the first race and broke his fingers, but he wanted to get on the next day, and the doctor said he could. But John took me out of practice just in case he didn't want to do it or couldn't do it, so I qualified with John ready to race. But Stu got on, and unfortunately their rear tyre went off, so they had to pull in. But yeah, it was a good experience. That's me, Molly, Justine, and my wife Nikki after the second place in the lap record at the TT. Just to, you've got to have a good woman behind you, as Carl knows, to be a racer, because it takes up a lot of your time. It is a very selfish sport, so you get them in for a snap at the end, don't you? Just to show your appreciation for them.
Yeah, you have to. Oh, yeah. Keep them happy.
Oh yeah, two good women there. Fair play to them, because it ain't easy living with a racer. And that's actually me and the fella I started my road racing career with, Dave Hurst. That was 2013. That we're actually leading Carl and Lee there. That's why I brought this in tonight, because
pretty sure I come past you.
Wine Carl, no, he didn't. We'll have to get the result sheets up and double check that. But no, I'm not.
Sure a stadium.
No, I'm not having it. And that was me with my Uncle Mark, and that is actually driving that bike that's touching us there is Matty Sale, Dan Sale's brother. And that was my first ever race meeting, and they came through, and
Big Lenny Bumfrey on the
Big
side.
Lenny on the side. They came through and opened our eyes to what it was really about. Get out the way, boys! Look out! It was that was a bit of a baptism of fire, that one. I picked this picture to bring in because me and at Scarborough, and I loved Scarborough. Well, first time I went to Scarborough, somebody took me round in a car, and I'd always wanted to do it. And as you can tell from, I'm not a quiet person. But we were going around about halfway round, and I think it was Patrick France actually. He said, "What's up with you, Binsy?" I said, "What am I doing here? What am I doing here?" It's like a single track road.
Yeah.
But raced it and loved it, and this one was the Gold Cup in 2014 or 13, and me and Dave Hurst, because it's so tight, there's nowhere to pass, and I generally don't know how it happened, but we went from 8th to my first podium at Scarborough, which was the 3rd, and it was a good race there, and that's why I picked that picture.
Yeah, that's one of the few road races around.
Yeah,
I mean that's the only other one I know in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that correct? Yeah. In case anyone.
Yeah.
Not sure. New viewers.
That was down. That's my little brother on the side of that. That's me driving. I'm on the wrong side of that one. I'm on the boring side.
Oh.
But I think my dad made me sit on there because I was the oldest for the picture. That was on Peel. That was at Peel. I remember it as a kid, and yeah, it was like a mini motorcycle. I know, yeah. Look, I've still got the receding hairline though. You can see it, can't you?
It's got a bit further back now.
I know, yeah. That was inherited off me, my old man, but yeah, me and my brother, a bit of fun there. That's me putting Anne Lee, putting the fairing on for Carl at the Mallory Park Sidecar Bonanza in
2011, that.
2011, yeah. You won, didn't you?
I
Twice,
did, yeah.
I think.
4 times.
Won there 4 times, and it was
I was a bit hungover that day.
Yeah, I think.
I think it rained. Did it rain?
I think so. Yeah. But Reeves was on the F2, wasn't he? But he'd entered on the F1, so they kept him as an F1.
Yeah.
But
so he won the race in the overall. But
last. Yeah, you rode well. There's no taking that away from you. Yeah, you won the race. But yeah, it was a good weekend. A few beers on board that weekend.
Seems to be a common theme running through.
Well, that's why I'm hiding my head in there. I was probably being sick in the kneeler, actually. That was my first ever, that was my newcomers lap at the TT with Dave Hurst, 2000, when did I do my, 13? Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And yeah, good year, 2 finishes, 24th, and we were coming down the Sulby in the second race, Sulby straight, and he just went, eee! What's happened here? Just cut out, and then we pulled over. You had a bit of bother that year as well, didn't you? Because I was just taking my helmet off, and I said to Hursty, I think that was Carl. I was like, it was Carl. I wonder he's didn't overtake him, did we? And then he realised the lanyard had fell off, so we've been parked up for about 3 minutes. Put it back on, fired it back up, and I'm degloved. Get your helmet on, you idiot! Get your... And then off we went. And finish, got a 31st. I think we beat in that race as well.
Yeah. Hang on, I stopped for 11 minutes in the pits.
Yeah,
the throttle was stuck open.
Oh yeah, 3. You won't be 11, wouldn't you? Oh yeah, that was a bit dodgy. That was when I had it. That was when I had the metal out of my leg at Broad Green Hospital because it got infected. And one of the nurses came up and goes, "There's a fella downstairs wanting to come up and see you. He's got a broken leg." I said, "Oh, all right, yeah." He said he does the TT. I said, "All right, yes, send him up then." And I was in the middle of reading Michael Dunlop's book. And he came in, he goes, "All right, Binsey." I said, "All right, John, how's it going?" I said, "I'll put this down." So, you know, John's like a bit of a... He likes to yap a bit, doesn't he? Yeah. So he starts wandering up. I'd just been moved onto that ward with 6 other fellas. And he starts going, "This fella's a legend. He's won a TT." And he's giving it the big one. And I was like, John, I never won. I just broke a lap record. "Oh, lap record's as good as a win." He was a good crack. He stayed with me. He stayed and had a chat with me about motorbikes for about 45 minutes. He was on his way to he was having physio, then he was going to the boat for the Southern 100, and he said, "I'm going to have to shoot now because I'll miss the boat, but I'll see you over there in a few days, you mad b***." And I said, "You will, yeah." And following on from that story, I was on crutches and we were stood at the Southern 100, and Patrick Ferrance has done his meniscus in his knee or something. He's got a bit of a dodgy knee.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And we stood down by the cafe, you know, the tea hut there.
Yeah.
And there was me, Ian Hutchinson, John and Patrick. And Patrick came over and he was talking away and he started talking about his knee. And then he stopped in the middle of it and he went, "Actually, stood next to you 3, I'm not going to moan about it." Because John had the cage on. Obviously, you know Ian's story and my story, and he'd ripped a bit of a muscle in his. And he realised who he was in the presence of while he was moaning. But yeah, top man for coming to see me. I really appreciate that. And he's not a Sidecar fella.
Oh yeah.
He told me at the TT launch in 2014 for the 15. He was the one who got me drinking gin and tonic. Zero fat. Get on the gin and tonics.
Oh, thanks.
Well, yeah, good night out with him on the beer a couple of times. Well, nice fella.
This is Molly in a desperate attempt to go up the inside of me. Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna grill you for that.
Put this on especially for Binsey.
Yeah, but I wasn't even on the side of this.
He was definitely on the side of that.
No, I wasn't. That was France in 2013. I was on the side of the one in 15 when you got a 10-second penalty.
I got a 10-second penalty.
In a desperate attempt.
taking the same line here that Molly is.
It was in the newspaper.
It was in the newspaper. But that is if you use that side of the road, it's so much smoother.
Yeah.
Otherwise it rattles handlebars out your hands.
He's not actually technically off the circuit because the rear wheel's on and the
that front wheel's definitely over me.
Do you know when that 10-second penalty came in? Right, and I was going
after this.
We were doing the timekeeping, and I was going, "No, Carl, please, no, Carl, please don't let it be Carl, please." Yeah, number 44, and I'm going, "No."
Yeah. It was funny that he never let Carl ate that. It was in the newspaper. Carl Bennett and Lee Kane in a desperate attempt to keep up with Dave Molly and Benjamin. To be fair, you stuck with us for a good few laps that race. Not that one, the 15 one. We had You led us a couple of times in 15 as well.
That was a good day, so.
Yeah, we had a good year. It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Every now and again.
This picture's from 2013. This guy on the left, Stu. He's back on the side of my bike. You'll see #249, and he's getting a bit older now. Whether he struggles to get about a bit more now, but he's like absolutely loves just being part of the team.
Nice fella,
and he does. And you know, this was I think the first year he boarded for me, and then for Christmas we bought him a pit board.
Yeah, we did.
You know, so he had a proper pit board and all
so
that.
So you have to paint it on.
so he didn't have to, you know, draw it on from it. And he does, you know, he puts so much effort into it, and he put it on. But he always wears a red hat, so I know it's him.
Yeah.
And he always phones me up just before TT, and I've always wear the red hat card. Don't worry, I've got the red hat on. And I've got this, he's got a massive pit board with Bennett racing on it, and he stood in the middle of the road like that. But you know, he'd done it. It's the first time I'd ever been inside the top 10, and that picture shows what it's all about. You know, he probably did love.
I put that picture on Facebook.
Yeah.
That got a few thousand likes.
It did, yeah. It goes,
that's a nice picture.
His face has it all done.
Well, that was the
you
year
were telling me about it.
We had struggled with that bike. We only got it in, was it February?
No, we didn't get that till start of May.
Start of May.
Yeah.
And then
that's when we had the Alton's bike.
Yeah, then we had to. Oh yeah, we went away and we had Pete.
You were Cadwell on that, weren't you?
Yeah, Pete Alton's bike. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
it was quite funny.
I say Stu's like, he just lives, breathes. It's the same. He's into grass track sidecars.
Oh,
yeah. He's just loves being part of it. Yeah. Every single part of it. I'd bring him here, but you'd never get rid of him. You can tell some stories.
In a desperate attempt.
He's brilliant.
We like to hear about the grass track guys too.
Yeah, he's honestly.
We want to hear about grass track guys.
Some of the stuff he's done.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, British champions and all sorts. He's done some stuff like.
And that's why we put the 249 on, because that was his.
That was his grass track number. He didn't want anything on the bike, you see, so I just put his grass track number on the side of my bike. Cool. And this is like Ben was saying before. Probably the biggest backer I've got is my wife. She doesn't really like me doing it, but doesn't really say anything about me doing it. You know, she's there when I'm coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning because I've been in the garage all night, and you know that when I'm being grumpy and moaning because the thing's not running right. When we don't go on holiday because I've spent all the money on the bike and you know all that sort of stuff.
I drop the ball all the time. I get called in trouble because I'll be around the house and a few beers in. And I'll say, oh yeah, have you bought that thing for such? And he's going, don't tell her how much it was. She fine well knows anyway.
Yeah.
He just likes to think everything in racing's free.
Everything's for free. I've been sponsored this. Yeah. And I mean, she's, you know, the picture shows how much it meant
to her.
That was the day I finished 4th that day.
Yeah.
And she, you know, she was
over the moon.
She just meant everything. You know, it did. It took a lot. It took a lot of ups. But loads of downs for us to even get there. You know, it did. It meant a lot for us.
It was an amazing time, that point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's just.
Yeah, it was good.
The hardships and everything that we went through to try and get that done was just nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were part of the team that year, weren't you, Clucas?
Clucas been a part of the team for a long time.
Well, yeah.
This was me and Jacko, the first ever race meeting we ever done.
Oh my god, that's Michael Jackson.
And, like the two lads, like I was, my dad raced sidecar, so you'd like to think I knew something about it, but I didn't. I knew I had 3 wheels and that was about it. Me and Jack always said as kids that we'd always race together if I'd done the race of sidecar. And I turned up at the petrol station where he worked one night and just went, hey, I bought a sidecar, you're going to passenger it? And he went, yeah, okay. and that's what happened. And you know, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We didn't change gearing. We didn't change tyres. We just, every meeting we turned up and just rode the bike. And we got the share wheel in the first race meeting, so we was over the moon. That's it. This was me on my debut and finale as a passenger with Craig Melvin. That was this year. It was just a bit of crack. He was stuck for a passenger and he wanted to get a bit of track time. I've always fancied to go. And that was useless.
He phoned me up and he goes, I said, how do you get on then? He goes, I don't know what all the fuss is about. He said, I'd be watching your ride if I were you. And he goes, it's not even difficult. I nearly fell off twice though. It's not that easy.
What I was struggling was, you know, like I was doing too much in the bus stop. And then as he was accelerating out to the left, going to Snuffy's, I'm like dragging off the back of the bike. It's only that I'm strong, I was like pulling myself back into the bike and catching my feet. But the platform was made for Lenny, and Lenny's about 2 foot taller than me, and especially in the legs. And I'm like trying to catch the back of this bike. Yeah.
And that's the thing as well. Every single bike is built for the two people.
Drive around the passenger. You got to be comfortable, otherwise it's a no-go.
No two bikes are the same.
No. Like you were saying though, strength. It's you can be as fit as you want and as strong as you want at the TT or any race, but if you haven't got it up here, you're wasting your time putting a helmet on.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We knew this one would come up. Hey, I'm sure we passed them after this.
I don't think I'll put the next photo up. So this is Alton Park, the same one. Obviously Ben's got different levers on there, you can see. Jibbed out with his new levers. Basically I was just showing Dwighty the fast lines. Now I'd never been to Alton Park before. I was like, I'd not like Dwighty done a load of the big tracks, and we went there all together, like a big bunch of us.
Jacko was with us as well.
All of us were there, like, you know, we just had a bit of crack, bit of Manx Mafia at Alton Park.
I'd love to slide that in, don't we?
And we had, we had an absolute ball.
Yeah, we went to Mallory after that.
We went to Alton Park, just brilliant. Just like there was probably 10, maybe 15 of us, Manx lads, the British track, just having a laugh. I done well. I did do well. I didn't beat Dwight and Ben, but I went really well. Loved it, and it's just lads just having a laugh at a racetrack on 3 wheels.
Didn't we get some Manx Mafia stickers?
We have got Manx Mafias on it. Just above my number board there.
We had one on Molly's bike in 15.
Yeah.
The guy said to Dave, "Can I put this on the bike?" He goes, "Oh, most certainly."
So everyone calls us the Manx Mafia because
apparently, we changed the rules.
We changed the rules.
We get to do what we want at the TT. It's a load of nonsense, really. It's just, I think it was Conrad that came up with that actually. When
it was good.
Lines. It is good for the crack because it winds them up.
Yeah.
Because we don't get our own way and we don't make the rules up.
Oh, maybe I did.
Oh, there we go. There it is. I told you we passed them.
Yeah.
No, that was the first lap, and the previous one was the second.
Yeah. Again, obviously it's Dwighty there. And it's just good photos that bring back a lot of memories.
Yeah. Good weekend.
I should have put some pictures in of Mallory Parks, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you smoked us there. You didn't see which way you went. But no, it rained. Dwighty wasn't keen on the rain.
But it rained, we were in the holding area, and he declared it a wet race, and everyone was on slicks.
Yeah.
So they sent us all out on slicks.
But you should have gone back to put wet on if it was declared a wet race. You should have been allowed to go back.
Yeah.
Put wet on. So Dwight wasn't keen on the slicks and the wet.
Well, he's from Australia.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
He was.
It was so good. Honestly, me and Alan Found like up the inside of each other, and Alan Found said to me afterwards, he said, "Honestly, Carl, I've come into Gerard's," and he said, because it was wet, he said, "I kicked down a gear and you just went straight past me," and I thought, that lunatic. But as he said, I knew what was going to happen because you got in so fast. You had to go wide, and I went gone upside in him, and he just went around the inside of me. I was like, "Oh, that's the British champion in you."
Yeah.
What we did do was all weekend. The Saturday was good, the Sunday was good, and then we just good, innit?
That's what makes it all worth it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Weekends like that.
Yeah.
Weekends like that. Doesn't care where you are.
Yeah, good ones outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
All the
you forget
time.
all the bad ones.
Like the times when you go away the weekends, and I remember the first time I went away to Molly was to Elvington and Thruxton. Drove down to Thruxton, did 6 laps, and I was fairly new, blew up, and it was the only motor we had. So I'm stood there, I'm thinking, right, it's Dave Molyneux, he's gonna sort of make he's gonna make something happen in a minute, and he just goes like, "Get out of them, son, the day's over." And what you mean? He goes, "Yeah, that's it, we're done." So he's on eBay in the back of the van, buys a head off some fella that we picked up on the side of the motorway, looked like a drug deal. We went back up to Liverpool, his sponsor's house, Nick. We pulled out the box, and it looked like it'd been sat in the garden for about a year. Cleaned it all up, got it on the bike, drove to a hotel near Elvington, got up in the morning. We had no other oil. We got a head gasket from, I can't remember where, but then we got up to Elvington. I'm straining the old oil through a sieve to put back in the motor. Fired it in, got it fired up, and that was the last ever race at Elvington. We won all 3 races that day and broke the lap record.
So
but that's their sort of stories, you know, from Thruxton to Elvington to about 1,000 miles in the van that I slept most of the way. Waking up thinking, Jesus, we still going. But yeah, they're the weekends you remember. Stories to tell the grandkids, aren't they?
Yeah.
They were signing on at Elvington as well. It was a belter, and so she goes, "Oh, who are you?" I said, "Benjamin Binns. I need to fill in the entry forms." She goes, "Who are you passenger for?" I said, "Dave Molyneux's." The fella goes, "Dave Molyneux's not here at Elvington." I said, "He is, mate, because I'm passenger in him." He goes, "Well, I've never seen that before." I said, "Well, he wouldn't have. It's his first time here." We didn't believe he was there, but he had to get signatures for the 2012 TT.
Yeah, because he had 11 off, didn't he?
Yeah, because he had 11 off. He was going to retire, and 2012 was... I did all the short circuits with him, basically, and then Patrick did the TT, did the double and the fastest lap, and I pitted for them.
It's a shame when people that we know have bikes that don't race all year and just go, right, okay, I'm just going to tick a box for the TT, and then you can see, like, after the TT's finished, then it sort of drops off again.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a shame, really, that it doesn't.
It is, but
it's the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the way it is. I'd race anyway, like you're saying about Derby and Minch. I'd race around Tesco's car park if that was the only available option I would.
Yeah. So where's your favourite circuits that you would go back to? Like if you, like apart from the TT?
I've got unfinished suspicions for Cadwell. I've been to Cadwell twice. First time I went, I was on Pete Alton's bike. I promised him that I wouldn't race his bike, I would just ride it. Because I was getting a signature, and it was like 4 weeks before the TT. And I went there, and I just went out to the race office and said, "Listen, I want to start at the back of the grid." And the woman said, "Listen, there's about 5 years that want to start at the back of the grid," because it was like 3 weeks before the TT. And we set off, and I was like, "Boop, boop, boop." So I just had a run around. It was a brilliant track, but I just didn't get a chance to race it. And then the following year, I went there on my own bike, and I was having issues. It seemed like every time I fired it up, it blew up. But I needed the signature for the TT. Went to Cadwell. I got there at like 2 in the morning, put a tent up, slept, got up, went to signed on, scrutineered, went out the track, 3 laps in, blew up. I was back in Lancaster for dinner time.
Yes, so I was there with Ursula that time. She came down with Lee in the...
I just need to go back.
And finish a race.
Just race it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Donington's a brilliant track. I love Donington. Alton Park.
I'm trying to think, I
think Alton Park's probably one of the best tracks I've been to. Knock Hill's good. Wet, but it's good. I like Knock Hill.
One I liked, Castle Coombe. Went there with Jacko. Went well in practice. I think we qualified 4th in the British Championship. And then, well, it was a mint circuit in the first race. We were coming into after the start and finish, it's real fast into like a sort of a left-right, but you don't work the left, you see. And I thought, what's he doing here, this lunatic? Because the bike was all over the place. And he said afterwards he thought exactly the same. What's he doing on the side here? And the rear wheel had come loose. Back end was all over the shop, so we retired from that race. And second race, I can't remember what happened.
Is that when he steamed up?
No, that was another belter, and that was at Croft, yeah. Steamed up, we were going round, and we were going down the back straight, and there's sort of like a left kink, and I had my head down. I thought, we're on the grass here. What on earth is he doing? So anyway, the next lap round, I thought, he can't see properly. And we went through the end of the back straight, there's a fast left, into a sunny in and sunny out, innit? And Gordon Chambers behind us, and he must have thought, what are these pair of clowns up to? Jacko turned in about 200 yards before the corner, straight into the grass. And I was like that, whacking him in the side of his arm. And he pulled in, he goes, I can't see. I said, yeah, I guessed as much. Pull over, driving around blindfolded, you nutcase. I just wanted to finish the race. I mean, if you can't see, you could have finished up in the hedge. But yeah, he's a card, Michael. Had a few grass track moments with him. I was at Alton Park with him in the British Championship, and we were behind Rami, going for 3rd, and Jacko again, he was keen. He just needed to slow down to go faster a bit. Sometimes we were coming around the left, and I was going, wait, just wait, Jacko, just wait. Oh, we were up on the grass, and we still finished fourth in that race after we got overtook by about another 4 people. But there's the big trench goes down the middle of there. We were coming towards it, and I thought, oh no, if the front end dips in here, we're just going to be catapulted across. But yeah, good weekends with Jacko as well. And only jumped on with him to help him out because Harry sort of tailed off after the TT in 2018, didn't he? So, but yeah, I've had a good crack with Jacko. He's some boy, bit of a character, a rare character. 110% committed though, nothing getting in the way of that fella's racing either.
Yeah,
he did it the right way though, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he started, he went away and went away and went away and went away. And
the people were saying to me after his crash at the TT, he won't be back. I said, you clearly don't know
Jacko.
You clearly don't know him. He'll be back as much as me. I said that to a doctor. He said, I'd think about altering your career and you'll never race again. And this, I said, you clearly don't know who I am, do you? I said, I will race again. And I did. That was my aim, to get back. And doctors always give you the worst case scenario, don't they?
They do.
They do. They never say, well,
they're not in the business of good news, are they?
No.
Oh no.
They don't like to say, well, it could
You'll
go.
never walk again, Dave.
Yeah, that's what it basically is. Yeah. But you could, if you try hard and physio, get to there. It's always, just take him down to Tells. He's finished, that boy. Get him on the scrap heap.
Well, they don't know the mentality of races.
No, they don't know.
That's what it is.
That's it.
They don't want to give up, and that's what makes.
That's what makes you a racer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Either that or it's just stubbornness.
Stupidity, I think, yeah.
No, not stubbornness. Pig-headedness.
Yeah.
I'll not be beat. Yeah, it's the I'll not be beat attitude, isn't it?
And a lot of times that works.
Yeah.
To get back.
Yeah.
Well, what do we say?
How about
you guys enjoyed the show?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah?
It's been
Yeah?
good.
What about everybody out there? You
I hope we have a bit of a crack.
From around the
Some
world.
fast laps.
Yeah. Hope everyone's learned a lot and get
Bit of
the
an
inside
insight.
story about our great sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Thanks for the
Thanks very
invite.
much.
And,
Yeah, thanks for coming here and wearing these silly hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I didn't
it was
wish
your
to come
fault
out.
that did that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
Our
you
Christmas special here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's
everybody,
my fault.
everybody across the world, you all have a great and festive Christmas, and we'll see you all next time. We're back. We'll probably be in a couple of weeks. We haven't had the date set specifically yet. Maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So what do you say, you guys? How about giving me the fingers? There we go. Get everyone.
Merry Christmas to all. Have a great time.
Here we are. Okay. Three wheeling. By the sport, for the sport.